We live our entire lives through our screens. Personal memories, financial records, and the daily operations of global infrastructure all depend on the assumption that our digital files will be there when we need them. But that access can vanish in a heartbeat. The screen goes dark, the system hangs, and you are suddenly, inexplicably locked out. This is the hallmark of ransomware. It is a calculated form of digital extortion, where attackers hold your data hostage, demanding a cryptocurrency payment to restore your access. It is an attack that instantly transforms your most essential tools into a source of panic and powerlessness. The technical engine behind this attack is encryption. While encryption is usually a security tool, ransomware uses it to scramble your data so it cannot be read or opened. Imagine every file on your computer is suddenly placed inside a heavy steel safe. The door is locked. To reverse this, you need a specific digital decryption key that only the attacker possesses. Without it, your files remain a useless jumble of code. But the threat has evolved into a two-pronged attack known as double extortion. Before the encryption begins, attackers now silently steal copies of your sensitive files. They don't just lock the safe. They take the contents home with them, threatening to leak your private information online if you don't pay. This leaves the victim facing a brutal choice: pay to regain access to their files, or pay to prevent their private data from being exposed to the public. So how does an attacker manage to lock a safe on your computer from thousands of miles away? Most of the time, they don't break in. They are invited in through phishing. This is a form of social engineering that targets the user instead of the software. These are highly realistic emails that mimic urgent messages from a bank, a shipping company, or a colleague, designed to trick you into clicking a link or opening an attachment. Attackers also hide ransomware in malicious downloads. A user looking for free software or a game cheat might unknowingly download a package that contains the encryption script. The moment you interact with that file, the ransomware installs in the background. There are no warning signs until the encryption is complete. Attackers weaponize human curiosity to get the victim to open the digital door from the inside. While some attacks rely on human action, others exploit technical neglect. Every software program and operating system has structural vulnerabilities, small errors in code that create security holes. When developers find these holes, they release security patches. However, these patches only work if the user actually installs the update. Attackers use automated tools to scan the entire internet, hunting for any machine that hasn't been updated. When they find an unpatched system, they can install the ransomware automatically, without any user interaction at all. Postponing a software update is essentially leaving a window unlocked and waiting for an automated bot to find it. Because modern encryption is virtually impossible to reverse without the attacker's cooperation, your only reliable strategy is prevention. This requires a strategy called defense in depth, stacking multiple layers of simple security practices so that no single failure leads to a disaster. The first and most effective barrier is multi-factor authentication, or MFA. Even if an attacker manages to steal your password through a phishing email, MFA creates a secondary barrier, like a code sent to your phone, that blocks the login attempt. You further strengthen your defenses by enabling automatic updates, ensuring structural holes are sealed. Finally, consistent email vigilance and reputable antivirus software act as a final filter to catch threats before they execute. By layering these tools, you make it significantly harder for an attacker to succeed, forcing them to find an easier target. But we have to account for the possibility of a breach. If an attacker manages to bypass your active defenses and encrypts your files, what is your next move? For decades, standard backups were the solution. If your system was compromised, you would simply wipe it and restore your data from a copy. Modern ransomware is designed to counter this. These programs actively hunt for any connected external drives or network backups, encrypting the copies at the same time they encrypt the originals. This is why the ultimate failsafe is the offline backup. An offline backup is a physical copy of your data that is disconnected from your computer and the internet. Because there is no digital path for the ransomware to follow, the data remains untouched. While an offline backup cannot prevent a thief from leaking the data they already stole, it does strip them of their primary leverage, the permanent destruction of your files. By keeping a disconnected copy, you ensure that you can always restore your operations and refuse the demand to pay for access.